Morning hustlers, how you all doing? For me, it feels a little bit like long time no speak because we haven't filmed for a little while, but we've finally got you caught up with our videos. So for those that are new to the channel, I'm Kandy, half of Kandy and Kelly, and we are breaking free from the 9 to 5, trying to build an alternative lifestyle, mortgage free. We've bought the house, we've started the renovations, we've seen the garden stuff, and there's lots more to come in terms of prepping, preparedness, self-sufficiency, and growing our own and just doing things on our terms. But I guess the updates are, so let's start. It's been an absolute nightmare. So, well, actually, I'll tell a lie. It was a bad day yesterday. You can probably see my bags because I can see them. I'm absolutely exhausted, and it just feels like things are never ending at the moment. So we haven't had a day off probably in about, 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. We've been living full time in my dad's camper van. As you know, for those of you who watched for a while, Vera went off into the sunset, our van. So we've been living in Bunty, my dad's van. That's going back this week, so we've had a bit of a final push to get ready to get in the house. Now, I'm going to show you a few things, but before I go into like the little bit I want to talk to you about today, I will say that we do have a bathroom. The upstairs is pretty much almost done, and I'm going to do a proper house tour video of where we are, but I'm going to do that on the next video. This was just a little update to say I don't think that we've filmed for about 4 weeks. The reason for that is, well, one, we've pretty much been concentrating on all the painting, following around the plasterer, and that has been hella boring. So I didn't think that anyone would want to see just white paint going on the walls, because we're really into like different colours, different textures, that type of thing, but there's been such a push to get in the house that we've just been painting white, just so we can get stuff in and get it into a clean position. Also, our electrician, he is very fussy and OCD, which is great, I guess, for a trade. He doesn't want to put any sockets in when we haven't painted, because he doesn't want paint to get splashed on his socket, which is fine. So, like I say, I'm going to do a full tour on the next video, which will be in a few days. However, I can let you know that the last bit to be done, really, to get livable, is the living room and dining room and the fire. And that is in progress as we speak. So, going back to why we haven't filmed, like I say, primarily thought it'd be a bit boring for you guys just watching us paint. There's been a lot of stuff going on. And also, we've just been so exhausted. We just couldn't bring ourselves to do it. And we used the opportunity really for us that we were 5 or 6 weeks in front on the videos. We wanted to get a bit caught up anyway, because it was getting a bit more difficult for me, especially because I was forgetting where we was. I was forgetting what I was talking to you about. I was posting stuff on Instagram, at Wild Heart Hustle, by the way. There was probably more of an update on what we were doing on the actual videos on YouTube, so we wanted to get up to date. We did think we'd get a bit of content. I've got some kind of B-roll and some background bits that I can definitely show you of the progress whilst I'll show you the house tour video in the next few days. But so we've been so excited. We had this massive push to get in the house, right? We got the bathroom in, we got water connected, literally had a couple of showers, a bath. At the weekend, so I had my family up. My brother and sister-in-law, my niece and nephew came up. My mum and dad was here as well. They obviously stayed in Bunty, and my brother and sister-in-law stayed in a hotel. But it was like showing them all the house. It was all great. We went to the village show. We went into the local town, went along the beach, had some fish and chips. The second that my mum and dad drove off that drive, we noticed a big puddle of water coming up the trench at the front of the house. We was like, is it just like because we're country now? There's been a hell of a lot of rain in the last couple of days. Is it just kind of like overflowing, coming up? No, So went indoors, checked the water, no water pressure. Literally, I've done one wash in my new washing machine. So that's how far along we are, guys. You know, we're in doing bits and bobs like that. And then this happened. I'll show you. Now, this is really depressing and it's really stressful because we were literally this close to getting in. Now look. So essentially, I don't know if you could see it properly, but what that is the main water feed from the water meter that's at the front of the house coming in to the house and on the outdoor tap. Because this is an old property and it's been laying dormant for 18 months before we went in, and it wasn't really looked after previously anyway. Basically, like, long story short, that started flooding out. We started panicking. Kel was literally trying to dig out the trench with like a mug because we couldn't get into our tools because the framework is broken on our shed. It was peeing down with rain. Kel was sitting in the mud with an umbrella. I was just trying to stand there and give moral support, of which, can I just say, that I really did hurt myself yesterday because running around panicking trying to find a spade, I proper stacked it, basically. So where the grass is coming up and it's grown a little bit around the trench, I went in the trench, essentially. I thought my footing was a bit further. So I went down like a sack of spuds. Now, bigger they are, the harder they fall, really came true yesterday. I was like proper sack of potatoes hitting the floor. I've never fallen over like that. And it's weird because it probably did shock me. I thought I broke my leg, but basically just all up my shin and my knees, just black at the moment, so nice big bruise. So I'll live. However, that was happening. We was liaising back and forth with our plumbers. It is nothing to do with the work that we've had done recently. This is a completely different thing, just coincidence it's happened. Now what our builder thinks, who's fantastic, who actually is our knight in shining armour, because he did come up last night and rescue us and start digging at that on a Sunday night, just off his own back, which we can't thank him enough. This pipe hasn't been touched. This is nothing to do with any of the works we've been doing. This is just basically, as I was saying, because it's been lying dormant for a while, and there's probably some corrosion, there's probably some rust in the pipe, and then with all the water starting flowing through, so showers, toilet flushing, we've got a kitchen sink, washing machine, dishwasher. It's probably just giving it a little. That's quite a nice view, isn't it, behind me? Yeah, that's quite nice. Can you see, by the way, changing the subject, the grass is coming up. So the last few videos that you saw are of the garden getting dug out and of the back-breaking work that we did trying to get the stones out, the raking, getting it ready. So look, this is blood, sweat and tears into this lawn. And even though every morning I come out and the bunnies are digging up little holes and moles as well. Let me show you, look, these are the holes. Can you see them? So all the little bunnies. I don't know what they're actually eating there. Like, if anyone's watching this, that can leave in the comments what the bunnies are digging up. Because there's no veg grown. Do they eat, like, bugs, widgety grubs or something that's in the ground? I don't know. But there's nothing there, but they keep coming into the garden and just digging up little patches, and I really don't know what they're digging for. So if anyone can leave in the comments down below, that would be fantastic. I'd love to know that. So yeah, the grass is coming through. This is simply grass seed and a bit of graft, chucking it in, raking it over. We've had a hell of a lot of rain in a few days, which I don't know if that's affected anything with the pipes at all, or I really don't know. I'm probably just making that up. But not only does it mean the grass has come up, it means the weeds are coming up really badly as well. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of work there, but at the moment the push is, so we've got, as it stands now, and as I say, we're getting a more up to date, so we're we're just starting the second week in June. I think it's Monday the 9th or something like that. So you're getting closer to where we are real time now. Bunty, my dad's van, I feel so bad. My mum has only done her first night in it the other day when she was here. And it's their van for they're both retired, they want to go on trips and everything like that. And we literally took the van. Which I know my mum and dad don't mind, but I do feel a little bit bad. But there's been such a big push to get in the house so the van can go back, because it needs its MOT, back down in Essex, and then they can get away in it. So we was like, we've done it. We were aiming for this day all along. We have actually smashed it. We're in the house. Now we've got no water again. I'm really at a loss of what to do because the plumbers are not texting back. There was a lot of back and forth last night, and obviously, which I do get, this is not their problem because it's nothing to do with the works that they did. However, they've only literally finished up last week, so I thought we'd still have that bit of rapport where we're still a customer and we haven't got any water. Can't flush a toilet, can't wash, can't even fill Bunty up. So, don't know if you can see, nice bit of grease sheen going on the hair today, so I haven't been able to have a shower. Bit of a baby wipe wash and a bit of a wet wipe with bottled water, so that's fun. But last night there was a bit of back and forth on text with them saying it could be this, it could be that. Anyway, they helped us diagnose the issue, which was there's a leak, and I'll try and import it into this video, but we filmed the actual, when we turned the water back on at the meter, it was like spraying all out. So it's a definite leak there. We were lucky it was there. So we've got to try and get that fixed. And they did say, like, back in the messages last night, I'm sure one of us will be able to get round tomorrow. But now they're not replying. So I'm really panicking. It's like 7:30 in the morning. We've got the electrician coming back to wiring the cooker. And we've got Simon coming back, who came last night to help us dig out this to finish the plastering. He's literally got the porch and 2 panels of the wall in the living room, and then that's all done. However, it's going to be more of a nightmare for him because he needs the hose to fill up his buckets for when he's mixing his plaster. So that's fun. So budget is dwindling, guys, I'm not going to lie. The stress levels are increasing. What we need the plumbers to do really is to give us a quick fix on that pipe, to mend it, and then just so we can get some water back on, because we can't live there. Like, I don't know, it's just, I mean, off grid is a bit of fun and a bit of a novelty to start with, like when you're camping out and stuff. But at the minute, I'm just at the end of my tether, really. So we're hoping we'll get them back today. That will get fixed. I mean, I totally agree with them. They've said that the whole pipe will need replacing eventually, and I totally get that. All that means, luckily the trench was still there, that's what I'm saying. But what it means is that if we ever, well, we will eventually, maybe get a path put in where the trench is and get the trench filled in and stuff like that. Don't do any of that until we've replaced that whole pipe. But at the minute, we just want to focus our monies into getting into the house, and then we'll worry about that later. So we know we're taking a risk, but to get that pipe out, it's got to dig from that end of the garden where I just showed you all the way down to the front of the garden, where the water meter is. So, and that's not like, that might sound easy, like it's just one pipe, you can't just pull it out. No, you're going to have to hire a digger then, and you're going to have someone to dig it out, and then the pipe's got to all be put back in, and then the pipe going into the house has kind of been moved around to under the sink where we had it all moved to. So, anyway, it's stressful times, but I just wanted to check in, really, and just say that we're all good. We're struggling a little bit, I think, just with tiredness because we've not had a day off, but I feel properly exhausted, and you can probably see by my face. It's just getting up at the crack of dawn every time, like not being able to wash properly, not knowing how much gas you've got when you want to cook in the camper van. You've got trades on site, you've got people arriving, everyone's coming here, and there's no downtime. And I guess it was lovely to see my family and everything this weekend, but that probably would have been our first bit of downtime. But to be honest, my dad was up here a couple of days before, and we need all the help we can get. He's been amazing again. Oh, that's the other thing that happened this week, which has been a bloody nightmare, is we got a flat tyre. And then we had to try and get the puncture fixed. And then luckily my dad was there, so we could drive to the garage because we couldn't pump the tyre up. And then it turns out it was a whole new tyre, so that was more money. So it's just a bit stressful. But I'm feeling exhausted. Kel obviously suffers with chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, obviously some kind of mental health issues as well. So it's just been tough. It's just been really tough. So we've been trying to manage all that in the background, not wanting to let people down, because we want to keep these videos going as well, you know, and the channel is really going to evolve over the next few weeks. So we're moving out of the renovation stage more into kind of what our life is. We're mortgage free and debt free. It's going to be how we can secure an income, because obviously the money's not going to last forever. I want to live an alternative lifestyle. I don't want to be in the 9 to 5, and I'm going to share in one of the next few videos as well what I've achieved in the 12 months since breaking free for the 9 to 5, because I know I sound like I'm all doom and gloom lately, and I know the last few videos have been quite positive, and this one's going back to being a bit of a mizzog, but this is the best thing I've ever done. I'm just feeling extremely fatigued at the moment, so it's coming across that way. But it's literally been life-changing for me. I don't know what my future holds, and that is quite liberating. Obviously I'm going to have to do something. I don't know what. So there's going to be all the journey about that. We want to live frugally, so we don't need to have as much income, because obviously our biggest, or most people's biggest outlay is rent or mortgage, right? And we don't have that. So we feel that we can change our lifestyle. We want to have a much more slower pace of life. We definitely moved to the right place for that. But this was just a quick come on to say we're okay. Everything's going. You've seen the lovely grass updates. You've seen our little pipe situation we've got going on that should hopefully get fixed today or tomorrow. But it's getting a bit squeaky bum time now. It's getting a bit stressful. But the next video you're going to see is a house tour, and we have come quite a long way since you last saw us. There's been a lot going on. I think I can put in some shots of some videos that I took while work was being done as well. But I wanted to get us up to date. I wanted to also explain that, and I think I just referenced it a minute ago, that there is going to be some changes to the channel. We're passing through the renovation stage now, and we're looking to move more to sharing what our life is, how we're going to kind of sustain ourselves, breaking free from the 9 to 5, what you can achieve if you really put your mind to it, and a lot more about how we became mortgage free and debt free at 42, and what we're going to do living our life going forward. So thank you all for sticking with us. We appreciate all the views, the comments, the engagement. We absolutely love you guys. So keep up to date with what we're going. You might have noticed we've been putting a few more videos out per week, just because we've had quite a bit of a backlog of content and we wanted to get more regular stuff out. But thank you all for the support. And the next video you're going to see in a few days is going to be the updated house tour. So have a great day, hustlers, and I'll catch up with you soon.